Most people don't realize that they're living life on this safe mode. Like they are living life on autopilot and they're not really taking any risk or going after things that they really want to go after. And this used to be me until like the past couple of years, I had this mindset shift and it really just changed the whole direction of where things were going to go and how things were going to go in my life. I remember working at my job, before I had my current one, I went through college, I got my education, did all the things that I was supposed to do, according to society. And I was very successful in sports and did my thing. It was until, I was working my odd jobs when I got out of college. I remember me and my homeboy, we were just working odd jobs because we weren't ready to step fully into corporate and to step fully in that mode to where we have to go to a desk job or do something that's very, very professional. So we weren't really ready to step into careers. And it was in those moments, I always look back in those moments and I'm like, I cherish those times because we had a little bit more time to hang out. We had a little bit more time to chill and talk about life and just how life is going after, we finished being athletes and doing the whole school thing. The last job I had worked I was selling phones, and it actually opened me up. So I would say it gave me great experience. Like I was talking to people every day. I was trying to make sales. I was learning sales at the same time. So it's very beneficial to me. But at the same time, I wanted to go after other things. Like I was still doing my modeling. I was still creating content. I was still doing all the things that I wanted to do. And that job gave me that time and space to do those things. But at the same time, I was in this mindset of survival. I was just trying to get things done day by day. Of course, I had these aspirations and I would have little glimpses of things that I do. Say I had a modeling gig or say I had some content pop off. I would have those things happen every once in a while, but I wasn't truly going after the things that I really wanted to go after. I still had this mindset of like, I need to be safe. I need to do what I need to do in order to just live a comfortable life, I would say, and just be comfortable. And at the same time, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that at times, but that's something that changed in me. Like I didn't feel like that was the right mindset for me to have at the time because it was so many other things that I wanted to go after for and that I felt like I would be passionate about. Like it was certain things that I was putting off when I was working at my other jobs. Say like starting YouTube or say like just creating different types of content. I was putting it off because I was like, I want to wait until the right time. I want to wait until I have the right space and the money to have all this stuff together in order for me to put out the stuff that I really wanted to put out. And that just wasn't necessary. Like I had to do everything that I wanted to do in an uncomfortable position. It's not going to be the way that I imagine. It's not going to look the way I think it'll look. It was something I had to just start. And that applies to everything in life. It's not going to be this perfect setup. Nothing is going to be perfect the way that you think it's going to be. You just have to start putting in the action to actually do the things that you want to do. Because eventually doing those things, it will turn out to the way that you thought it would look. At the same time, in this comfortable mindset that I had, or this safety mindset I had, I also was kind of scared to fail. I was kind of scared to lose. You shouldn't be afraid to lose or fail because those are two main things that you're going to need in order to reach a level of success that you want. Losing and failing are great indications that you're heading in a direction that is just it might be beyond you. It's something that you didn't even expect, or it's success that you couldn't even imagine. Losing and failing and doing things and trial and error, those are the things that really sharpen you up to help you become the person that you need to be whenever you achieve the success that you want. When I was doing this job, I was focusing heavily on self-development. I was starting to read books like I always read. Back in university, I used to read books that my dad gave to me, and most of the time those were self-development books. So I got back on that wave. I was trying to really make this work. Like I was trying to just help myself at this time because I knew like I didn't like where I was at the time. Like it just wasn't the best. Like I was like, man, let me just get through this. Let me sharpen up my brain, sharpen up my mind, my body, make sure everything is together, you know? And there was nothing wrong with that at the time. Like, those will always benefit me, and I'll always remember some of the things that I learned, you know, reading books and everything. Even though I might not be in tune with it today as much as I was back then, those were still beneficial things that I did. From time to time at nights, I would just get so bothered with where I was at and what I was doing, and everything just didn't sit right with me. It was like things just weren't aligning with me. I had just a bad feeling about everything. And even though I was trying to help myself and trying to better myself, it was like I always felt like there was a missing piece. Like, it was something missing that was going on in my life. I've always thought about, like, if I wasn't going to take certain risks that I wanted, then I'm always going to be choosing failure regardless. So when I thought about that stuff, that sat on me, but I wasn't fully taking action. It wasn't until I got in a car accident going to that job, and I had to drive really far to get to that job. I got in a car accident, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I could have really, that could have been my life. Like, it could have just flashed and that would have been the end. I'm okay now, and I've been okay in the past, but what if that was like my last moment? I was going to and from work. I was doing the things that I didn't really want to do. I was just sitting in this position to where, like, I felt like I knew I needed change, but I wasn't really making a change. And I understand that, you know, some places that you have to be comfortable in it for the moment, but know that that's just your stepping stone to get to the next level. And that's when I truly made my decision. That's when I made the decision. That's when I made the decision to start living life with abundance and to live life more full and to really go after things I really wanted to go after. At this time, it was just more emphasized. It was like, the older I get, the more I need to go after those things. The more I need to go after experience. The more I need to go after really enjoying my life and not being tied down to the things I really don't want to do or I'm really not interested in. I need to make things work. So that's when I booked my trip and I ended up jetting off. I don't know, travel was the thing that I really wanted to do, and I felt like travel would help me get to the mindset that I really wanted to be at. It would just help me along this journey, and it really did. So the first thing I do is book a trip to Greece. I always say, like, TikTok and social media, those helped me a lot, big time, because that gave me the ability to know people in different places and to at least have some point of contact whenever I get to those places. During those moments, all that I could think about is that these are the moments that people kind of sit on and they don't ever take action. And I was just thinking, like, either way this goes, I go travel, I do my thing, I create content. I'm just figuring out life and doing things the way I want to do it. Even though if that fails, I will still live with the great experience of that I did this. And that is without having the regret of, like, I could have did this, or I could have done this and I didn't make this happen, or I didn't make this leap. So I always thought, like, I didn't want to live with the regret of that. So that's why I went after the things I went after. I took off and I went and I got in a plane and jumped all the way across the world. And it was the first time I did it. And I would say that was the best thing that happened to me, because now, like, I really want to get out more. I really want to travel, and it's almost that time to just make that full step of just going. I feel like if you're not risking anything, you're risking everything. Like, life is really short, and not taking risk in life, I don't know, I feel like that's a disservice, and it just doesn't do you well at all. Like, staying in a comfortable position and doing things that you normally do, doing the same routines. Like, man, in my head, I'm like, that gets old. Like, I can't do it. Like, I'm the type of person that has to jump. And I know there is some cons that comes with that. But at the same time, the reward of taking risks and some of the things that you don't even think of that you stumble upon can be so much better than just staying in a comfortable position in this organized life that you're living by, the society rules. So here's what happened. Once I made that move to go all the way across the world, I met so many new people. I experienced so many things in a short span of time. It felt like time was just completely different. Wherever I was going, it was like I was going all over Europe. It felt like time had just changed on me. But it was probably I felt so full. But at the same time, I was inspiring so many people that were back home and so many people that, pay attention to my content. And the reason I feel like I was inspiring is because I was doing things that people really set out to do or that people aspire to do, but they don't completely make the jump. When you're getting out your comfort zone and when you're doing these things, you never know who you might inspire or who's watching. Meeting all these people, getting comfortable talking to strangers and meeting different people, that opened me up so much more. Like, it was so much life experience that I gained from going abroad. And it felt like 1 month there felt like 3 months back home. It was like I learned so much in a short span of time. It was like, man, back home this would have never happened. Back in the States, this wouldn't have happened. Also learned how to truly adapt. Regardless of what I had at the time, I was limited on the things that I brought, and whatever I had, that's what I had to use. It made me adapt to anything, any situation. Whatever problem that I ran into, it was up to me to fix it. Whatever situations I ended up in, that was on me. I only had myself at the time. And I feel like in those moments, those are the best times where you truly develop yourself into the person that you really want to become. It was a time where I was so uncomfortable. I was in this new space where I didn't know anybody. I didn't know the language. It was just like my mind just flipped, or my world just kind of flipped on me. And waking up in a place where I wasn't familiar, that gave me so much courage and the ability to feel like I can do anything after I've done this. And which I felt that whenever I came back home. I felt that whenever I got back to the States, I felt like I could do anything. I felt like anything was attainable in this life that I truly want to go after. And all I have to do is take a step. All I have to do is take steps in these directions. Coming back home, I felt so courageous, and there was nothing anybody could tell me that I couldn't do. Having that mindset, I feel like it completely changed me. Like, everything changed. The way I wanted to do things changed. The way I wanted to save money changed. The way I wanted to, I don't know, it's just like my whole world changed, and I became a much more positive person after that. And I couldn't thank that experience more. Like, it was just, that was just everything to me at the time. My last thing is, what is it that you are waiting on as far as what risk? Like, what is it that you are waiting to take a leap on, and why haven't you taken that leap? Think of the things that you are scared to lose or you're scared to fail in, and go after those things.